All right, guys, today we got a 2012 Ford Escape with a 3-liter in it. It's a no start. We're gonna find out what's going on with it. Let's get into it. We're in the vehicle now. Got the hood open. Battery doesn't look too good. We'll look at that in a second. I haven't tested it or anything. Just showing you what it does. I got an SRS light, and I got nothing. So I'm cranking now. Got no radio. No, that's the only light that comes on. So let's go out there and check battery voltage. Let's see what we got here. I don't have my meter here. I got Andrews. Looks like he got himself a new little power probe meter. We're gonna try that out. Right here. Yeah, I'm thinking 4 volts is probably not gonna start the vehicle up. All right, let's get a booster pack. Hopefully it's charged up. Yep, 4 volts. Yeah, 12 volts. All right. Oh, headlights came on. Just what it was. Crank, no start. Okay. So we're showing 11.7 on the post there. Let's see if we get anything different inside. Well, we got some dinging. We got some lights. Just some backlight in here. Let's turn them off. That's not going. We got all the dash lights and everything. We still got no start. I don't know if that key feels just right, but all right. Well, all right. So
the tow truck jumped this far off?
No, tow truck said he couldn't jump it. He said he hooked the booster up to it and he heard clicking under the hood, but I don't hear any clicking under the hood.
Okay.
So, all right, we got the booster on it. We know right off the bat, battery's got 4 volts in it. I'm gonna test the battery, but more than likely this battery is gonna need to be replaced. Let's see if there's a date on it anywhere. I don't see a sticker. It might be under here, but it's a Walmart. Usually there's like a little round sticker on the side of it. I'm not seeing it. All right, no worries. So we got the booster on it. We got power. We should be getting at least something. Starter is super easy to get to. It is right here. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do something that I normally wouldn't do, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick test. All right, just to see, maybe it's something simple, maybe it's just a bad starter. Obviously a bad battery. Wouldn't make sense because the battery's low, but I'm gonna go down here to the exciter wire on the starter. All right, take that and put it on the dashboard or here on the hood where I can see it. Got a nice little magnet on it. All right. See if we get anything at the starter. That'll be a quick, easy one. And nope. All right. Well, let's go a little deeper. Let's pull up a wiring diagram on the starting system on this thing. I mean, I could get deep into security or whatever, but I mean, we got a almost dead battery here. So let me just go simply here. I'm gonna pull up a wiring diagram and we'll be right back on here. All right, got the wiring diagram pulled up. Let's look over here at it. If you've watched the videos before, you know that I always like to start kind of backwards. I find the component I'm looking at. So in this case, the starter motor. I see our battery wire, or battery cable coming down to it, and then here is our what I call the exciter wire. So coming on up. All right, we see we've got a relay. So we come into the relay with number 2. This is coming here. That's logic. All right, let's see where this goes to. Powertrain control module. So the powertrain control module looks like it feeds Nope, actually, that's why I say always look at the whole wiring diagram. That's because it's got the diode. All right, so we come from the 125 amp fuse into the ignition fuse 27. It looks like maybe an ignition switch fuse because it feeds that. In the start position, comes out, comes up, comes through, over, and that's what gives us our power to our relay. And it looks like the other side is the starter motor control, so that's going to ground it, so the engine control module is going to ground it. All right. So the reason it's going to do that is because more than likely the engine control module is using there's going to be some security there. It's, even if we have the ignition switch and we've got power going over to this, the engine control module is not going to ground it unless it sees the right security protocol, whatever it might be. So let's start again. Let's keep it simple. It looks like we've got a 125 amp fuse. We got a 30 amp fuse I want to look at. And then that's outside junction box in the engine compartment. And then we've got the center of the dash junction box with the 20 amp fuse. So I'm going to go to the easy ones first. This 125 and this 30, and let's see if we've got what we've got there. So fuse 11, 30 amp. Let's see what that is. So, oh, it's got a little attachment on it so it doesn't get lost. All right, I'm about to go bright. Got to do it. Got to be able to see. Fuse 11. All right, so it's a big fuse. It's a 30 amp. We've got all these. We go there, over. Now that's weird. No, there it is right there. Okay, got it. All right, so this is our 30 amp here. Now, these things are always so hard for me to tell if they're blown inside. I always like to just take the cover off of them. See what we got. My eyes are getting where I just can't see stuff as good anymore, so let me see if I can't. Do this. I have to replace that one because I just messed the cover up. Alright, well, maybe I can salvage it. We'll see. Alright. So that fuse is good. Alright. Come back over. Tell you what, rather than go digging for this fuse, it'd be really easy if I can get to this starter relay, I can just test that at the starter relay. If I've got power at pin 2 of the starter relay, then I know that fuse 27 is good. So let's find the starter relay. Of course, we all know that Ford doesn't like putting any kind of indications here other than the numbers. So this is why I like opening things up on a separate tab on the computer. So I've got my wiring diagram over here. I'm coming back over to this side, and I can just go back, and let's go to power and ground distribution. Let's go to probably fuse box. That did not help. That's no good. All right. Oops. There we go. All right, awesome. I'm gonna open that in a new tab so I can keep that open the whole time. I'll put it right there next to that one. All right. Starter relay. Am I seeing it and not seeing it? You see it? There we go. Cool. All right. Starter relay. That is the rear window, fogger, fuses. cooling fan. All right, here's the starter. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to hold the camera for a minute. I'm going to have the cameraman go in there and try to start it. I just want to feel that relay and see if I feel anything. Again, I try to keep it simple. Yep. All right, I got nothing there, so okay. So key off. All right, so let's get that out of there. Got it? All right.
We got our other technician here now too.
All right, so doesn't feel hot. I'm gonna check for powers into here. Power there, that's gonna go to the starter. All right, now I'm gonna need, go ahead and go inside and try to crank it.
Okay, we got a new helper.
All the way to the crank position. Got it there? All the way. Okay. Okay, here we go. We got power there, let off. So do it again. Crank position. All the way to the crank. Hard as you can. You had it.
Start it up and hold it.
Well, he had it a second ago. What happened? No, he didn't have it right now. Something changed.
You starting and holding it all the way?
Wiggle it, crank it. He did it. He had it.
Nothing. Weird.
Put your foot on the brake. Okay. That's an interesting predicament. All right. Let's try something here. Let me find my jumpers. Hang on. I'll be back. All right, so I had to go find my little relay bypass deal. I mean, we could have done it anyway. I mean, we could have done it 100 different ways, but just use this. It's quick and easy. I'm gonna stick it in here. It's on off right now. No, I'm just going. All it is the two tabs. Power in and then power down to the starter. Go ahead and turn the key on. Just on. You don't need to crank it. Just on. Got it on? Okay. Okay, so the engine starts and runs. Just want to real quick just check the... And it is charging. It's 14.5 volts, so it's charging. Okay. Interesting. So we had it, go ahead and shut it off. So we had that light light up for just 1 second when he was in the crank position, and then it went away. Always makes it fun, so that's no problem though. Let me go ahead, we got power here. I just want to do a quick scan on this vehicle. Let's see if there's any codes or anything in it. I mean, the battery was dead, so we know that cleared, but now we tried to crank it. We probably created a code here by doing this, who knows, but let's get into it, see if we can get some codes. All right, so I did a code scan of the vehicle. Previous video you saw that we always recommend code scan, you know, doing a full vehicle scan before you ever touch it. They did attempt to do that on this one, but obviously the battery was dead, so they didn't get any even they couldn't even get the thing to power up. So no big deal. We got power on it now and did a full vehicle scan, and as expected, I mean, we've got obviously a P1000 on a Ford. That means that it hasn't run all the monitors because the battery's dead and it cleared everything. We got immobilizer issues, battery voltage, obviously we expect that. Battery voltage again, and in the PAT system, which is the analog theft system. On this one, we've got low voltage, compass module. Who knows why that's got to be in the PATs, but hey, it's got something. Data not programmed. Don't go down a rabbit hole. Let's keep on steady here. Ignition state unexpected. Okay, so probably because I had the vehicle cranking when the key was just in the on position. It could be. And then we've got the data mismatch. So, okay, we see all that. We had a dead battery. We've tried to crank it. I'm going to clear this. It's not something I would normally do. I wouldn't just go clearing codes. I'm going to clear this out. Let's see if this thing, because I was out there messing around with stuff. Let's see what happens with it after we clear it, and maybe something good will happen. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to clear the whole car. Let's just, it could just be that the battery died, and then we had issues with the PAT system because the battery was dead. It could be that we had a PAT system issue, and then they sat there. We saw the headlights were on when we powered the battery up. So it is possible they had a separate issue from the battery, and then they sat there trying to start it, or they sat there with the key on, or whatever it may be, and killed the battery. We got to try to put these pieces together. So that's what we do as auto technicians, is we put puzzle pieces together. So, all right. So now everything's cleared. All right, still nothing. So, tried it, tried again. All right, nothing. Let's go back into the PAT system. All right, ran a self-test on it. It's going to take just a few seconds here. All right, no codes there. Now I'm going in memory. No codes there. Okay. So, do we have just are we going down the PATs? Are we going down the PATs hole right now? I'm going to go no, because when I try to crank it, if we go right here, if we look right here, there's no light on there. Now watch when I turn the key off, back on. See how we have that light there? I need to look up on this vehicle, but I'm thinking I got no codes in the PAT system. I would think that the light would light if we had an issue. So let's not even go down that path. So let's go down basic starting problems. We saw that we had the light there for just a second, then it went away. Let's check to see that we're getting power, down here to our fuse. Let's check our fuse in our interior fuse box, and let's go from there. So let me get access to that. Got access to the interior smart junction box here, fuse box. I looked it up on all data where it was, and again, there's no numbering or any kind of indications of what these fuses are, but I know what fuse it is because I looked at the diagram up there. So let's go in here and take a look at it. So it's this fuse facing this way right here is 20 amp, and we got power on that side. We got power on that side. So, and all I did here, just so everybody knows, I got my power probe here into the vehicle since I'm coming inside, and I just use it for a ground for my test light, so that way I know I got a ground all the way to the battery. So, I mean, I could try to find a ground in here, but super easy way of doing that. You're probably gonna have your power probe hooked up, anyway. So anyway, that's where we're at there. So we know that fuse is good. Let's go back to the diagram. So I was looking at this as I was finding where that fuse was, and I've got it pulled up on the scanner over here. We come out of the ignition. I'm lazy, okay? I want to find the answer as quick as possible, and I don't want to do, I don't want to go chasing things. So I'm looking for the easiest way to determine something. So I know now this fuse is good, all right? So do I want to get the ignition switch? I just want to know, do I have a start coming out of that ignition switch? Again, we had that one time where we had power going to that relay. So something's intermittent here. I feel like, that didn't just happen out of nowhere. So do I have a bad ignition switch? I noticed here as I come out, I got a connector C211, and then I come up here, and I notice that I've got this this diode, basically. All this is a diode. So I've located where this diode is, and I want to check to see if, and all I did to locate the diode, just so you guys know, we see that it's in the junction box in the engine compartment. So basically, fuse box in the engine compartment. I go back over to my engine compartment fuse box, and I look here, and there's my starter diode. Okay, so we're going to go to that, and what I want to do there is I want to pull this out. I want to pull this out, and I want to see if I've got power on it when it's in the start position. Because if it is, if I do have power on it, then I know I'm going somewhere down here, maybe to the splice or somewhere in this area, as opposed to somewhere down here. So again, I don't really want to get to that ignition switch if I don't have to. I honestly don't know how easy it is to get to yet. If we have to, we'll find out. And then this C211 also. So let's go to that real quick, and I've got it already ready to go. I know you saw me with the test light inside. I didn't bring it out. I got a ton of test lights, so just got another test light out. What happened to our starter cranker guy?
He left.
He left? So here's our diode, okay? So let's pull that out. Remember how it's facing, okay? And then what I'm gonna need to do is I'll hold the camera then, and then see if I can't do this while I'm holding the camera here. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go to the crank position as I'm holding this. Go ahead. Okay, you're in crank position. We got nothing on this. Okay, all right, you're good. So again, no, you can turn the key off. Or actually, yeah, leave the key on. I want to try something. Sorry guys, we're doing this on the fly. So let me give you back to the cameraman. What do we got here? So now we know we've got nothing here, okay? So now we've got the problem somewhere between here and here, okay? All right, well, we can, I'm saying we don't have it here. We don't have it here. I'm sorry, we might have it here. So look at this. We got another wire that comes off there that goes into the engine control module, right? So if we go to the engine control module, powertrain control module, if I crank this all the way to the start position, we should have a PID on the powertrain control module that will tell us if it's in the crank position. So let me get that pulled up, and then, because we just turned the key off, so I'm going to have to get it pulled up. Give me 1 second, we'll get it pulled up. Okay, so let me go inside, so that way we got it pulled up. Here's our data. Starter motor output. Starter motor output, speed control. It's not gonna be, it's gonna be down there. Scroll through here. Starter motor relay disabled. Why am I not seeing this? It's gotta have one in here somewhere. Key position. Key position for start indicated. Okay, so here's our key position now. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna go all the way to the crank position. I'm in the crank position. No change. No change. Okay, so that's good information, because now here's what we got. Again, we've just double checked this, but we know we've got something, a break here, okay? This is good. This fuse is good. You know, we could have a problem here. I feel like that this wire is probably good. Do I know that for sure? No. But we get a lot of other stuff that comes on the dash. We get, you know, the ignition switch is actually powering things up. I have not looked at the ignition switch circuit, so I don't know that there's other inputs. It could be, but I'm not going to go down that path. What I want to know now is, do we have anything coming out of this ignition switch? Let's see where C211 is and see if that's easy to do. And guys, my gut right now is, it's probably this ignition switch. Okay, that's what my gut is saying right this second. I could go straight to the ignition switch and see, but let's see where C211 is first. If it's super easy to get to, maybe it's, you know, then we'll, at least we'll be able to break this down even further. So let's try to find that. Might want to give me a minute. We'll or maybe go live with this. We'll see here. Let's see here. That's a different vehicle. I'm over here. Where is my? Did I not do this on a separate tab here? Here. All right. I don't know why. I don't know what just happened here. I've lost my original tab.
That's not the right car.
There it is right here. I know that's not the right car at all. Sorry guys, let me take that off. That's not the right car. Don't get caught up in that.
I was just messing up.
Yeah. All right, let's go back. Let me move this tab over here so that way all my stuff is right here. Bam. All right. C211. I wish, boy, that would be nice if that was a hot link, wouldn't it? You click on that and take you right to it. You can in a lot of OE stuff, I tell you that. It was really nice. Connectors. C1s, C1s, C2, 11. Behind instrument panel, top left. Behind instrument panel. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with no on that. I'm not interested to go to get that thing. So, all right, let's go to the ignition switch. That's where we're headed. So, starting and charging, starting system, ignition switch lock cylinder, removal and replacement. All right, that's a lock cylinder. I don't want the lock cylinder. I want the switch itself. Oh, okay, I went one too far. Sure, I'm going to pull that cowling little piece off there. Yep, okay, cool. Alright. Okay. Let me get these two, the clamshell off of the, let me get the clamshells off of the, oh, I just popped into my head. These things are real, sorry guys, we're doing this live, so this just popped into my head. These things are notorious for the ignition lock cylinder housing to fail. Internally, there's a rod there that will break, that the actual rod that twists. Okay, I know we've done a lot of those in the past, but let's not go silver bullet. Let's figure this out for sure. Let's be 100%. Let me get, no matter what, I got to get those clamshells off. Let me get that off and we'll be right back. Well, our starter guy is back in the car. Everybody, this is Sherwood number 4. I honestly don't know what he's doing in the back of the car, but it is what it is. Hey, if you agree or don't agree with him being in the back of this car right now, how about do this? Give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Maybe you'll see him again in the future. Don't forget that notification bell. All right, here we go. So I am on the blue and white wire now out of the ignition switch, okay? And I'm just going with my test light that I had over on the other side, and I'm gonna go to crank position. We got nothing, okay? So now what I can do, if I can remember what color wire, one second. I've got a yellow and red coming into the ignition switch. Don't get blinded. Yellow and red coming in, yellow and red. Yellow and red. It's really bad losing your eyesight, everybody. And better than they used to be. All right, let's go ahead. And we got power coming in. Okay, so now we know without a fail, without doubt, we know that we've got power coming into this ignition switch, which we thought we did. We got nothing going out for the starter on this ignition switch. So, okay, normally we would say, okay, maybe it's the switch. And we pull the switch off. You know what? We think we know it. We think we know it now. And a lot of times we would call that switch. And I'll be honest with you, the very first time we ever did one of these, now that I remember what this is, the very first time we ever did one of these, we called the switch. Because, I mean, who would think that the housing is bad, right? But now that we know that, we're going to actually test to make sure it's not the switch. So give me 1 second, and I'll get to a situation here where we can prove that out. So I pulled the ignition switch, the electrical part of the ignition switch out. Pretty simple, two tabs right here. It just basically clips in, okay? So I've just got it out. So now I've got my key in the ignition, because remember, we've got the pickup ring around the key for the security system. So it's picking up the transponder and the key. I've got this out, and all I'm gonna do is, if this switch is bad, when I go to crank it, it won't crank. And if it's good, it'll crank. So I got coming on the dash. All right, well, you see that how did the light switch get turned back on again? Anyway, you see how now we've got starter engagement. Probably our booster pack is gone dead here. Let me grab another booster pack real fast. We'll put it on there just to show you guys that this thing is gonna start now. So 1 second. All right, got another booster pack on it. Let's try it. There we go. So it starts and runs. So now we know that ignition switch isn't the problem. And honestly, now that I remember, we know it's going to be in that lock housing. So I know, hey, I appreciate all you Ford guys out there. I know all you Ford guys were rooting for me as I was about a quarter of the way through this, going, man, go to that housing. I get it, but you know, this just shows you, yeah, in this case, going with the silver bullet, looking this thing up, and whatever sources you've got, whether it be Identifix or you've worked on a million of them and or whatever it may be, would have led you to the right cause. But knowing how to test and get to it and not just assume will lead you to the cause every single time. So if you follow the data, you'll always get to the cause. In this case, the silver bullet would have definitely helped you, would have got you there a little quicker. But in any case, we found the problem. We know we're going to need to put that housing on it, and we're going to need to put a battery in this car. Just so you guys know, don't take a chance on batteries. That thing was at 4 volts. Once a battery gets down really, really low, it looks like it's got a little bit of age on it. We'll ask them how old it is. It might be under warranty. We'll definitely offer that to the client to see if they can't get us one under warranty. But if not, we're going to recommend a battery. We don't want to take a chance. We want these people to be starting and running, and we'll do our inspection on this vehicle. So hope you liked it. Hope this helped. And let me see you on the next one. But I was going to do the outro, I guess. Can you stop it there and do the outro? Or I was sitting there thinking, do we want to do an outro or?
Yeah, you're good right now. Good.
I don't want to do all this that you're doing right now, that you're getting all the little funny black and white clip on here. Okay. So, all right, everybody. Thanks. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell. Please subscribe. It really helps us. We're bumping up there. We're getting there. We've slowed down on the subscription, so hit that button. I know a lot of people that watch these videos, they don't hit that subscribe. Just hit it. It's free. Do it. You want to do it. Hit it now. All right. See you in the next one.